Welcome back to Learning English at Home for Day 4. Today you'll continue listening My Home. Here are the 6 parts. Exterior of the house, living room, kitchen room, Nom's bedroom, sisters and parents' bedrooms, balcony with plants. Let's get started. Hello, my name is Nom, and today I'd like to tell you about my house, starting with the outside. I live in a small 2-story house in a quiet neighborhood in the city. It's not big or modern, but it's full of love and feels like home. We've lived here for more than 10 years. Over time, we've added small things to make it more beautiful and personal. From the outside, you can see that our house has a red-tiled roof and white walls. My dad painted the gate blue last summer. It's a simple metal gate, but it looks clean and fresh. We also added flower pots on both sides of the entrance. My mom takes care of them every morning. She grows roses, jasmine, and even a small lemon tree. When the flowers bloom, the front of our house smells very nice and looks very colorful. We have a small front yard, just enough space for some plants and for parking my dad's motorbike. He rides it to work every day. On Sundays, we wash it together. It's one of those small routines I really enjoy. Next to the gate, there's a small clothes line. When the weather is sunny, we hang our laundry outside. It saves electricity, and the clothes smell fresh from the sun. You can often see shirts, towels, and school uniforms drying in the wind. Our street is calm and friendly. Most of the houses are similar: 2 floors, small front yards, lots of plants. In the morning, you'll hear birds chirping and sometimes a rooster crowing. That's because our neighbor raises chickens behind his house. It feels a bit like the countryside, even though we live in the city. There's a small traditional market just a few minutes away. On weekends, I often go there with my mom to buy vegetables, fruit, and breakfast. The market is busy and full of life. People chatting, sellers calling out, the smell of fresh herbs and banh mi. It's a big part of our community. During Tet, our neighborhood becomes very colorful. We hang red banners on the gate and place yellow flowers outside the door. All the neighbors decorate their homes, and the street feels like a festival. Our house might be small, but when I look at it from the outside, I see more than just walls and windows. I see the place where I grew up, where I play, study, eat, and rest. That's why I love it so much. Thank you for listening. That's a little about the outside of my home. In the last part, I introduced the outside of my house. Today, I want to tell you about one of the most important places in my home, the living room. Our living room is the first room you see when you walk into the house. It's not very big, but it's warm, clean, and full of good memories. This is where my family spends a lot of time together. In the center of the room, we have a brown wooden sofa with soft cushions. The sofa isn't new, but it's comfortable. We also have a small round glass coffee table in front of it. Sometimes we put snacks or drinks on the table while watching TV or chatting. On the right side of the room, there's a TV on a wooden cabinet. The cabinet also holds our Wi-Fi router, some books, and a few small decorations like candles and photo frames. We usually watch the news in the evening and sometimes enjoy movies or comedy shows on weekends. Behind the sofa, we have a wall decorated with family photos. There's one photo from when I was in primary school and another of our family trip to Dalat. Every time I look at those pictures, I feel happy and proud. On the left side, there's a bookshelf filled with different books. Some belong to me, others are my sisters or my parents. We have comic books, school books, dictionaries, and even old newspapers. We also have a ceiling fan to keep the room cool during hot days. In the corner, there's a standing lamp that gives off warm yellow light. In the evening, we don't use the main light, just this lamp. It makes the room feel more peaceful. Sometimes I do my homework in the living room, especially when my sister is using our shared desk upstairs. My dad reads the newspaper here, and my mom sometimes takes a nap on the sofa in the afternoon. Every evening after dinner, my whole family sits together in this room. We relax, talk about our day, and watch TV. On Sundays, we might play a board game or just talk for fun. It's my favorite time of the week. During Tet holiday, we decorate the living room with yellow flowers and red envelopes. We also put a small tray of dried fruits and candies on the coffee table. The room feels full of life and tradition. Although our living room is simple, it's full of love and laughter. For me, it's not just a room, it's where we connect as a family. Thanks for listening. Next time, I'll tell you about our kitchen. Welcome back again. So far, I've shared with you the outside of my house and our cozy living room. Now, let me take you into one of the most important places in my home, the kitchen. Our kitchen is small, but it's clean and very organized. It's right next to the living room, connected by an open doorway, so it's easy to move between the two. Even though the space is not big, we have everything we need for daily cooking. When you walk into our kitchen, the first thing you'll see is the dining table in the corner. It's a simple wooden table with 4 chairs around it. We usually eat breakfast and lunch here. For dinner, we sometimes eat in the living room while watching TV together as a family. Against the wall, we have a row of kitchen cabinets. The cabinets are white, and the countertop is made of smooth black stone. On the counter, we have our rice cooker, electric stove, and kitchen knife set. There's also a water kettle and a cutting board. My mom keeps everything in the same place, so it's easy to find what we need. In the corner, we have our fridge. Not too big, but enough for our food. On top of the fridge, my sister likes to keep her snacks. Inside, we store fruits, vegetables, leftovers, and ingredients for cooking. My mom is really good at keeping it clean and fresh. Next to the fridge is the sink, where we wash the dishes. My mom usually washes them, but I help after lunch or dinner. We don't have a dishwasher, just a simple sponge and dish soap. My mom spends a lot of time in the kitchen. She's a great cook. She makes traditional Vietnamese dishes like pho, cum tam, and my favorite, fried rice with eggs and sausage. Sometimes she teaches me how to cook. I'm not perfect yet, but I can make basic dishes like omelets and noodles. On weekends, we often cook together as a family. My sister helps prepare vegetables, my dad chops meat, and I set the table. We talk, laugh, and sometimes listen to music while we work. It's one of my favorite family moments. Above the cabinets, there's a small window that lets in natural light. In the morning, the sunlight comes in and makes the kitchen feel warm and bright. It's also a great spot to look outside and see the birds in the neighbors' trees. Our kitchen may be simple, but it's full of delicious smells, happy memories, and laughter. It's where our family gathers, cooks, and enjoys time together. And that's what makes it special. Thanks for listening. Next, I'll take you upstairs to show you my own room. Now that you've seen the kitchen, let me take you upstairs and show you my favorite place in the house, my bedroom. My room is not very big, but it's just right for me. It's quiet, bright, and personal. It's the place where I sleep, study, relax, and sometimes just sit and think. I spend a lot of time here, especially in the evening after school. When you walk into my room, the first thing you'll notice is the light blue walls. I chose this color because it makes the room feel calm and cool. On one wall, I have a poster of my favorite football player. He inspires me to work hard and never give up. On the left side of the room is my single bed. It has a blue blanket and 2 pillows. I keep a small stuffed toy on my bed. It's from my childhood, and I still like having it there. Next to the bed is a nightstand with a small reading lamp and my alarm clock. On the right side, there's a study desk by the window. This is where I do my homework, study English, and sometimes play games on my laptop. I try to keep my desk tidy. I have a pen holder, a notebook, some textbooks, and a calendar on the wall above the desk. There's also a small potted plant that my sister gave me. Next to the desk is a bookshelf. I keep my school books, a few comic books, and some English learning materials there. I also have a little speaker that I use to play music when I study or relax. My wardrobe is in the corner of the room. I keep all my clothes neatly inside. On the outside of the wardrobe, I've taped up a paper with my weekly to-do list. It helps me stay organized. One thing I really love about my room is the window. During the day, it lets in a lot of natural sunlight. In the morning, the light wakes me up, and in the afternoon, I can sit by the window and look outside. I can see the balcony and the small market street from here. Sometimes my sister comes into my room and talks to me while I study. She sits on the bed and shows me funny videos. I don't always like being disturbed, but it's nice to spend time together. At night, I turn off the main light and use my lamp. It creates a soft, warm glow that helps me relax before I go to sleep. My room isn't fancy, but it's mine. It's a space that helps me feel focused, comfortable, and peaceful. That's why I love it so much. Thanks for listening. Next, I'll tell you about my sister's and my parents' bedrooms. Welcome back. I've already shown you the outside of my house, our living room, the kitchen, and my own bedroom. Now, let me tell you about the other 2 rooms upstairs, my sister's bedroom and my parents' bedroom. Let's start with my sister's room. My younger sister is 14 years old, and her room really shows her personality. Her room is just across the hall from mine. It's slightly smaller than my room, but it's very colorful and full of energy. The walls in her room are painted light pink, and she has fairy lights hanging around her window. She also has posters of K-pop idols, colorful stickers, and some of her drawings on the wall. She loves art and music, so her room feels very lively. She has a single bed with a soft pink blanket and 2 big teddy bears on top. Her pillowcases are always changing because she likes to decorate. On one side of her bed is a small desk where she draws, writes in her notebook, or watches videos on her tablet. The desk is usually a little messy, but she says it's her creative space. Next to the desk is a white bookshelf filled with books, comics, and art supplies. She also has a mirror with small decorations around it where she gets ready in the morning. There's a fan in the corner because she hates feeling hot when she sleeps. Even though her room is small, it feels fun and full of life. I sometimes sit with her there and talk while she draws or plays music. It's nice to have a sister with her own space and her own style. Now, let's move on to my parents' room. My parents' bedroom is the biggest room on the 2nd floor. It's right next to my room. Their room is calm and simple, very different from my sister's. The walls are painted light cream and the curtains are gray. They have a large double bed in the middle of the room with white sheets and 2 pillows. On each side of the bed, there's a small nightstand with a lamp and some books. At the foot of the bed is a wooden wardrobe where they keep all their clothes. My mom is very organized, so everything is always neat. On top of the wardrobe, she keeps extra blankets and towels. There's also a small table and 2 chairs near the window. Sometimes my dad sits there and reads the newspaper in the morning while drinking tea. My mom usually reads at night before going to sleep. They don't have a TV in their room, but they enjoy listening to music or the radio. The room is always clean, quiet, and peaceful, just the way they like it. Each bedroom in our house is different, and that's what makes our home special. Everyone has their own little world, but we're always close and connected. Thanks again for listening. I'll end our house tour with one last place, our small but lovely balcony. Welcome back, and thank you for following my house tour. We've now reached the final part of my home, our balcony with plants. Our balcony is not very big, but it's one of my favorite places in the house. It's located on the 2nd floor, right outside the hallway between the bedrooms. You can step outside through a sliding glass door. The first thing you'll notice is the fresh air. In the morning, there's a light breeze. You can hear birds singing, and sometimes even the sounds of the nearby market starting up. I often come here after waking up, just to breathe and relax for a moment. We keep many potted plants on the balcony. My father loves taking care of them. Every morning, he waters each plant carefully. We have flowers like marigolds and roses, and also small herbs like basil and mint. There's even a small lemon tree in one corner. It's still young, but last year it gave us 4 lemons. Along the edge of the balcony, there's a metal railing, and we've hung some plant pots from it to save space. The floor is tiled, and we try to keep it clean. My mom sometimes sweeps it in the evening, especially when leaves fall. We also have 2 small wooden stools and a round table on the balcony. On weekend mornings, my father and I sit there and drink tea together. We talk about school, work, or sometimes nothing at all, just enjoying the moment. It's peaceful. From the balcony, we can see the street below. There's a small traditional market nearby. I love watching people come and go, buying vegetables, carrying bags, riding motorbikes. It's like watching a real-life movie. In the early morning, everything feels calm and quiet. But by 8 a.m., the market becomes colorful and busy. Sometimes I sit on the balcony alone in the evening. The sky turns orange, and you can see the sun slowly setting behind the rooftops. I bring my headphones and listen to soft music, or just watch the world without saying anything. It helps me feel relaxed after a long day. During Tet, we decorate the balcony with red and yellow flowers, and sometimes we hang paper lanterns. At night, the lights glow softly, and the whole house feels festive. Our balcony may be small, but it gives us space to breathe, enjoy nature, and connect with each other. It's where I go when I need a quiet moment. It's not just a balcony, it's a special corner of our home. That brings us to the end of my house tour. I hope you enjoyed learning about my home, from the outside gate to the balcony plants. Thank you for listening and spending time with me. See you again in the next video. Thanks for joining me on this tour of my home. I hope you enjoyed listening and learning new words as we visited each room, from the front yard to the cozy balcony. Every space in a house has its own story and feeling, and I'm happy I could share mine with you today. If you liked this episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, and come back for more easy English practice. See you next time on Learning English at Home.